So as of today, we've officially been on YouTube for 2 full years.
That's crazy. 2 years, and we really enjoyed making all these videos, and it has been great that people really, just follow us and just comment on how they do their garden. It's been a really great time.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of our favorite things is to read the comments. Like we've always mentioned, we try to reply to everyone and really getting to hear what you're doing in your part of the world and how your garden, it's really been special. But today, because it's quite gray and quite cold and rainy, there's really not much that we can do out in the garden. So what we thought we would do is we would take you back to our very first garden tour 2 years ago and share that with you today. You'll get to see how the garden looked 2 years ago. Our son is even in the video.
And he's so small back then. So.
Yeah, and we were so young and fresh 2 years ago. So.
And actually, it's fun to look back and see all the changes we have done to the garden.
We even had a trampoline back then. So if you didn't follow along back then, you'll get to see where the cherry tree is now. That's where a trampoline used to be. So just so you know, this was recorded before we got a little better microphone and before the camera. So there's some things with the sound and the quality that may not be exactly what we're doing today, but hopefully you'll enjoy and get to see, sort of where we started from when we started here on YouTube. So we moved in 2018 to this little row house here in Fredericia, Denmark. The beach is right past the big pine tree. It's an old house, like 100 years old. When we bought this house, the garden was a mess. So all of this was just overgrown, hedge was crazy, lots of stuff. There was grass down the whole middle. And in this past year, actually in the past 3 years, we've slowly taken this and turned it into a bed of perennials. We bring in some annuals sometimes. This year in the winter, we took up all the grass. So all the grass is gone, and we laid out a path, stones and pebbles, then built some new flower beds in there. So let's give you a tour of what's growing right now here in June and show you what we can do here in Denmark. We gotta let you know though, it's been a very, very, very dry summer. Right now we're under a drought warning, which for Denmark, if you know anything about Scandinavia, is crazy that they're warning you about drought because it usually rains, I think, 260 days a year here in Denmark. I'll double check that. It rains all the time. It hasn't rained for weeks. It's not supposed to rain for another 2 weeks. So a lot of things that should still be in flower are kind of already gone. But yeah, here in the middle of June, let's show you what we got.
The geums are one of our favorites, I think. It's a very low one. It's here at the border of the garden at the beginning. We have some salvia that's flowering now. All the bees really love it. And Centara over here, the white one here, also together with a geum, is really a nice combination, I think. In the back, because it's a high one, we have the digitalis over there. Is also really one of our favorites. That's in blue.
The bees go crazy for those.
That's right. And over here, the very tall ones, both the purple and the white ones, the really tall ones are delphiniums, sorry. And we have also really pretty lupins that's almost finished flowering now. Hopefully they come with a second flowering again. And some low wallflower. We really love the yellow ones. They are really nice as well. Diamanthus is also a really nice one, really a dark contrast to the yellow. Look at that color.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
And another salvia over here, a white one. This is just like one plant, it's really huge.
And these are all plants that we've brought in. When we moved in, we had this rhododendron there and this hydrangea that's doing what it can do for now. Okay. So that's really all that we've kept. We brought in and planted
a bunch.
Yeah, we collect seeds, or Lars is the big one who collects the seeds every year. We take cuttings. So this is a new one. that we've just added this year, because this whole flower bed is brand new here in the center.
Yeah. And also I think it's important to mention we moved one of these rhododendrons, a smaller one, to give some height in this new established flower bed.
Yeah, we're hoping, because right now we have a sun, so we have the trampoline. We're hoping that this flower bed will get a little bit higher here, kind of mask the trampoline a little bit. And one day when he outgrows the trampoline, you can see that we're already preparing the soil. Ta-da! For a whole nother set of flowers.
We have some ideas, maybe like a tall tree or something to give some structure.
Something
maybe
pink, I think, would be really nice. Something early blooming would be great.
We'll have to see. Yeah.
These daylilies are nice.
They're really nice, and the funny fact is that each flower only lasts one day. So we take them in and we make a lot of bouquets from like flowers from the garden, but these they last just a day. But then we just pick some new ones. But they smell really good as well.
The peonies are really pretty this time of year.
And the ox eye over there is really pretty with the yellow eye there, and also more yellows over there. The flumis is really good if you have a bunch of weeds over there. It's really a pretty one, like in tiers, the flowers there.
The lamb's ear.
Oh, that's a
here, that's a really nice low one.
And also like...
You can see we've also started bringing in some summer flowers, you know.
Over here.
Especially on the edge of the border.
And the idea is we really want it not to be very square, like we want plants to grow out of the border, like a little bit wild and just untamed, really.
Yeah, like cottage garden style. And you'll notice that we really keep things super tight, super close together. And that keeps the weeds, because yeah, okay, it's not the biggest garden in the world, but when you have a full-time job and a kid and it's a lot of weeding if you're not careful.
And we should show them over here that there was a roof when we moved in, but like a storm tossed it off. So we planted like 2 wisteria, so it has really grown in the last few years. So it made this natural roof, hopefully getting by time more and more flowers. But we practice trimming it twice a year, right?
Yeah, because when we moved in, like Lars was saying, we had this, let me show you over here, we had this plastic, which was fine. And the owners, before, they would sit out here because you get the sunsets that way. If I didn't make it too dizzy, the sunset's over there. So then you sit up here and then you have a nice dinner. There was also a little shed here where we would keep the garden tools, park the lawnmower back here. So there was this whole shed that went here, and then even with what is now the pergola, so all the way here. So this was all blocked off. They'd cut a hole, and the tree was sort of growing out the middle of the hole, which was fine. We left the tree, but we really weren't digging it. So we took the building down. Also, we had a big storm, so the building was kind of shaky. Took the building down, and now we're bringing in a lot of hydrangeas. As you can see, that's sort of the plan for here. It's quite shady until the afternoon, when that afternoon sun hits. So hopefully the hydrangeas will do really well. We've had to add nourishment to the soil because it was really sandy. Back here, there were just tiles, which were laid on top of sand. So we're trying to bring that soil back and keep it nourished. So super excited about that.
Here we have also one of my new favorites, stork spill. A really pretty one that I sowed last year from seeds. I think it's amazing that you can toss some seeds in the ground. I think nature's really, unbelievable. That is tiny, tiny seeds, and now it's like, look at this, really pretty flowers. We have over here also a new, because this was also the lawn. We put some raised flower beds that we planted some dahlias in. Some are like sown from a seed, and others we got from a bulb. And then we put some poppies around that's going to be low, and Jacob's ladder, because the foliage is really nice. So the plan is that it's going to be really a lot of flower here, also autumn, so we have a lot until the frost comes, because otherwise it's just green. We really like to have a lot of pop of color, right? So yeah, a lot of things to look at. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, same thing here in the middle. Here we've added, you can see there's some more wallflowers. This time just in a different color. That rhododendron, you can see the bees. The bees are going crazy for this guy. The rhododendron. Yeah, the digitalis. So yeah, lots going on. Yeah, so they're telling us that we really can't water that much. You were watering basically in the morning, but now I have to be a little careful with that. We do have a glass house, a greenhouse back here behind us where this is where Lars takes care of the seeds that he's growing and stuff like that. So fortunately that's getting to the end. So we don't have so much more of that. So we can take it easy on the watering. So
we have had some like rainwater, like a rainwater bucket where we collect rainwater. So,
but we've used most of that. So hopefully it'll rain here soon. So strange to say that here in Denmark, but yeah, hopefully for some rain soon. Yeah. But that was the tour for now. Yeah, let's see what happens the next couple of weeks. So here in the middle of June, usually by now the lupins are still in bloom. They're still really pretty all the way through to the end of the month. But for this year, I guess because it's been so dry, they're just pretty much finished. So it's time to deadhead. Lars is already behind me. Ooh, I need to get started. Lars is already behind me, taking care of those. We're going to take them down. That way they'll grow again. They'll have that second flowering. It won't be as big as the first flowering, or hasn't usually been. So we'll leave them down. They'll look prettier. They'll go ahead and get that second flower. And then we're going to keep some of them, the ones that are already starting to turn to seed. So that way we have those ready for next year.
I think I'm going to move some of these geraniums over there because the foliage is so nice, and I'm going to move it over here to the alliums. Even though I took the leaves off, it's really bare down there. I think that would be a really good idea for autumn projects, actually.
So it's been a couple of days since we sprayed the lupins with our soapy water mixture. For the most part, it took care of them, but you can see there, see those little white things on that plant, buddy? They're still there. But that's what we thought. We knew it's not poison, so we're not trying to completely devastate the environment, but we do have to spray them again with some soapy water. We'll do that this afternoon, I think, when the sun goes down.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Let's give it a shot and see what happens.
We don't have a lot of rainwater left. I'm using like every drop of it.
That is the saddest sound.
Let's just see here. We don't have so many things left, right?
No.
We have some marigolds here. Not so many plants left. Everything is sold out actually, because I have people coming to the garden, right? And then they buy some things. Agalai, we have a little bit left. They really want to come out of the pots, right?
We have 4 left.
Yeah, and hollyhocks, we have a few left. They are all grown from seeds, right?
Yes.
That we collect, yeah. So eventually we'll put some more things in, right?
Yeah.
So yesterday, this little man and Lars celebrated their birthdays. They're both June babies. And we got this, or Lars got this. Malatsi didn't get this. It's not the best gift for an 11-year-old. But we got a new hydrangea, and now it's time to plant it in the flower bed. What do you say?
Yes,
Let's do it.
We have taken some cuttings from our elderflower. We have like this really great one with dark foliage, and a few weeks back we just took some branches off and stuck them in some soil that we kept moist here in the greenhouse, and forgot all about it actually. And now only a few weeks later it has rooted, so now it's gonna become or go in a bigger pot. And then it's ready to go out in the garden. Now we can give it to some friends. It's So it's a great way to get more plants, and it's going to be a true copy of the mother plant actually. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm planning everything out now from the greenhouse. It's getting so hot, so everything that's in there goes. Some will go to friends and some I'll just plant out in the garden, and then they will get some new homes next year.
I think it's safe to say that we planted too much this year.
You think so?
Yeah, we just have so many and we're watering all the time.
Yeah, I know.
So they gotta go.
Some of them gonna just be out in the garden though.
Yeah.
And good we have neighbors that will come and get some.
Neighbors are gonna get a lot of plants.
But yeah, they are too dry here in the pot, so I hope this is a snapdragon in white. I hope I can plant it out and it will survive. They need to come out of the pots though.
Yeah, it's time. Since garden tours is the name of the game, I thought we would drive over and show where Lars is working. He has been a kindergarten teacher ever since we first met. That's about right. Yeah, for about 12 years. About 12 years he's been a kindergarten teacher. But this year he's taken a job as a gardener, professional gardener here at one of the cemeteries here in the city. And you can see here in Denmark, the cemeteries aren't really like where I grew up. They're city parks. People come here, they hang out, they bring their lunch, their coffee, whatever. They're absolutely incredible, incredible places full of perennials, bushes, trees, summer flowers. And so I thought we would take a minute and show you one of the new flower beds that he's been working on this past week. And yeah, let's take a look.
Here we have one of the flower beds that's not so many years old. It's all perennial. So we have some that's under the shade, like we have salvia here, who can also be in full sun, and later on there'll come more and more sun on it. And we have some really low geraniums, really pretty in this pinkish color, that also eventually, by the time, the idea is that it will cover the whole ground here. We have also over here the plumies here, that will also be a really good ground cover for, like, so if you don't want any weeds, have this one. It's really a pretty one. And then again, different kinds of salvia, some with like a dark purple, some with more like pinkish. And as you can see over there, the bees just love it. It's full of bees in it. And a bunch of hostas in different shapes, and they will also by time cover the ground. We have catmint here that the bees really love as well, and once it's finished flowering, we will trim it back and it will come with a second flowering, and it's also really great for cuttings. You can really propagate easily. We have a bunch of lamb's ear over there. So as you can see, we plant really in a bigger group because it gives you really a big wow effect, we think. And in different color schemes, really like purple, bluish color. Okay, I'm just going to show you like a drought-tolerant plant that's really good if you live in a place there's no rain.
It's really good if it's drought.
Yes.
Drought-tolerant plant that's really good if there's drought.
And here it is. It's really a low plant, and it's both in white and in pink. It's called Sacrifaga, and it will spread slowly and has these really cute pink flowers, and the foliage is green most of the year actually, which is really great too. Oh, and this actually catnip, I just got this at home as well. It's really great, I think. Look at all the bees and the butterflies there. I can't wait to get more of that actually at home. I promise just one more. This is really great. It's called English grass or Ameria. It's also in white, but the bees really love this one too. It's like little tips or tops of green here, and then it gets all this lush, yeah, pink flowers. It's really great. Just like a meadow. Look at all the bees here.